King Tiger. Recently, Lyon was described to me as a city without an identity. Unlike the madness of Marseille or the history of Paris, Lyon seems to be holding onto the threads of its culinary culture. But I don't taste it. Instead of its cheese and meats, I fell in love with its winding streets, alleyways, and architecture. And today I'm glad to show you an absolute patchwork of half-assed footage that I took to show you what a day out in Lyon is like. And yes, I cried at the circus. Walking up the lanes from Hotel de Ville, we started our journey at the Opera House of Lyon. One thing you're going to pick up on immediately is the height of every building. So much of this city is 4 or 5-story apartment blocks. It strikes that balance between open and cozy in a way that shows off the wealth of the country that this city was built on. The comfortable height of these buildings was mostly optional. Architecture built out of desire, capability, and luxury, not necessity. There's no anxiety built into these walls. That was painted on afterwards. I'm told this city has a history of craft, something you can clearly see from all the small shops and artisans. It was once a textile hub in France. These laneways were a feature of function, a way to carry rolls of material through the city without damaging them on tight corners. This gave birth to countless laneways that act as an identity for Lyon. These are laneways that proved pretty damn useful during the Nazi occupation. Today, as we walk through these streets, you'd be forgiven for not noticing the entrances to these laneways. Hidden behind beautiful doors, the resistance disguised their entrances to evade capture from the Nazis. And it reminds me of the back lanes of Belfast, being used to escape the British in times of resistance, running in and out through people's homes to evade capture. Someday in the future, maybe we'll go on a tour of these lanes, but I'm still new here, so I never recognize them and I'm too afraid to try. And what if I accidentally just open someone's front door? It's just, no, we'll come back to it. For now, we're taking you to Zoe for a pastry. This is the first stop for anyone visiting Lyon. Located far up one of Lyon's many big-ass hills, its pastries are beyond anything you can imagine. What's even better is that they're all vegan, so no matter who you are, you can eat any of it. Lyon might not be famous for many things, but it turns out they're famous for this: the praline brioche. The electric pinkish red of the pralines all wrapped up in a fluffy little bread. It's an odd blend of crunchy, sweet and soft. With a tea, a coffee, a notebook, you can find me a happy little man. And Lyon is a lot bigger than I expected. With a population similar to Dublin, I expected a similar feel, but Lyon feels big. For better and for worse. There are so many little alcoves and gardens laced throughout the stonework, squares, sculptures, and all that good colonial stuff. You know, it's hard for me to exist in a colonial power and not see the fruits of all that suffering. It's something I'm constantly trying to temper when it comes to casual conversations about France, Lyon, or otherwise. On our way home before the circus, my partner suggested bubble tea. Normally, I'm all about that. I mean, look at these little teeny plushies. Who wouldn't want that? But alas, this was too sweet. The chunks of taro were all up on my mouth. It was just not the nicest thing to go through. And I almost immediately felt sick. But after all of this, and a pit stop at home, we finally traveled out to Cirque Imagine. This is a residential circus in Lyon that stays there throughout the year. And the show was a benefit for pediatric cancer research, so it wasn't their usual performance, but I was absolutely stunned by the energy in that tent. That familiar, heartbreaking energy. I know I talk about my past circus life a lot, but it usually feels like something that's still with me. You know, like I still perform sometimes on the rope, I still handstand, but when I felt that room, Those lights, the smells and sounds of a circus. I was flooded with the life that I never lived. Every performer on that stage was me. I was supposed to be there. So yes, I began to tear up, and I began to cry with every applause, with every smile of happiness from the performers as they basked in it all. I have been filled with this new creative urge to transform myself into this circus image I used to live. Seeing the age of the performers that night, seeing past performances of myself, there's absolutely no reason I can't release my music into a world of circus. I've never been just a musician. I've never been that focused. To move forward, I must make the stage my music is played on. I must stitch together the curtains that open and close the show. I must paint the poster and pitch the tent. I have a new group of old friends on Discord. This is a small group of artists that I trust with my creative ideas. Moving forward, I becomes we. We are going to make a world for my music to play into. And this was supposed to be a travel vlog about Lyon, but it has since devolved into whatever the hell this is. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next week.